What is going on to all of you amazing Mets fans out there? Welcome to the debut episode of the Amazing Mets Fan Cast. We have a great show planned for everybody today. Hopefully, everybody's doing well out there. I know I'm super excited. The Mets have made the playoffs after 6 long years. This team has been playing amazing baseball most all year round, other than a couple of little stretches. And we are on pace to hopefully break 100 wins this year, hopefully win the division, but we definitely know we're going to be in the playoffs. So that is a great thing for all of us Mets fans out there. So let's look at tonight's game to start. Tonight's game was a fantastic outing by the New York Mets baseball team. They went against a solid number one pitcher, reigning Cy Young Award winner Corbin Burnes, and ended up chasing him off within 5 innings. To get that out of Burnes, to be able to get some runs off of him is very telling sign of this Mets offense that's been picking up really wonderfully throughout the last 5 games, especially since that debacle last week in Chicago. The last 5 games, the Mets hitters have been hitting when it matters. They've been clutch. Their pitching has been extremely solid all the way around for the most part. And Max Scherzer tonight was another example of that fine pitching that the Mets teams offer. But let's go to Corbin Burnes for 1 second. Corbin Burnes has been kind of a Met killer since he's been facing us. In 5 outings against us, we've never been able to beat him. He started 4 of those outings and had 1 relief appearance against us, and has always seemed to have the Mets number. The Mets had to win this game tonight. Atlanta is in a very easy series for them against the Washington Nationals, and the Mets are facing a much tougher opponent here in the Milwaukee Brewers. This game had great implications. You win, you guarantee yourself a playoff spot for the Mets, and they did just that. I know everybody wants the division, and I do too, but this is a great first step for us. We know we're going to the playoffs, and that's a beautiful thing. Beating a guy like Corbin Burnes, the reigning Cy Young Award winner, was a very big thing for this Mets team. He's a fantastic pitcher and looked very sharp the first 3 innings of the game. Everything kind of fell apart for him in that 4th inning there. And once again, Mr. Clutch, Pete Alonso, came in, smoked just a massive 3-run home run right up into the upper deck. And that gave the Mets the lead that they never, ever gave up after that. I know there was a couple runs later on, but they kept this lead right after Pete's mammoth shot. Ended up tacking on some more later in the game, but the main story of this game was Max Scherzer. Max Scherzer, coming off the injured list and a very short start out at AAA Syracuse, looked absolutely flawless tonight. Faced 18 batters, gave up 0 hits, beat everybody in order. He looked just flawless tonight. This is the Max Scherzer that we signed for $43 million to help anchor our squad along with Jacob deGrom. And this was a beautiful thing to see Max come back off of a little bit of an irritation to that left oblique injury that he had earlier in the season and come out and be so dominant tonight. This is why we pay guys like Max Scherzer the amount of money that we pay him. He came in and did exactly what they needed him to do. That was win and be exactly what we expected from Max Scherzer. He was flawless, didn't miss a step on anything, and Buck made the very smart move, pulling him after the 6th inning, 68 pitches. Keith Hernandez had mentioned during the broadcast that he thought he would do about 70 to 80 pitches, and Buck made the smart move out there to pull him out. It's more important. I know everybody wants to get the no-hitter potentially, keep him going out there till he gives up a hit. But what do you want? Do you want somebody who's had some injury problems with their left oblique that is one of our aces to not be healthy in the offseason so we can chase after a no-hitter? Or do you want Max Scherzer to get as much rest as possible so we save him for this stretch to get the division? And then when we get into the playoffs, we're going to need him to be performing at his highest level. I know a lot of people were critical of Buck pulling him at that point. Buck made the smart move 110% tonight by pulling him, and it paid off very well. The Mets ended up finishing that out luckily and getting the victory tonight. The bullpen looked great except for Tylor Megill. Lots of Mets fans have been excited about Tylor coming off the injured list. He started off the season really good, struggled a little bit before his last injury, has been gone for the better part of 3 months now. So he's coming back, had a couple of shaky outings in AAA. First one was very dominant. Second, last 2, not so much. Pretty shaky outings in AAA. So I know a lot of people were hoping to see the Tylor Megill from earlier in the season that had just some amazing stuff when we needed him to start in place of Max for the injuries on opening day and thereafter. Looked a little rough, though, tonight. Came out looking okay in the first couple pitches and then ended up kind of falling apart for a little bit after there, but got himself out of the inning. Gave up a 2-run home run and thankfully finished out the inning after that without any more damage to it. But it was good to get him back out there. Let's wait and see where he goes from here. Get him some more time. Let him have some more time to learn to be a reliever. The guy's been a starter his entire career, and it's going to take him a while to come back. He's been gone for a long time for that injury. So to get back and get major league ready, you got to be able to throw him there in certain situations. He could be a very crucial member along with Williams and Peterson to our bullpen as we go down the stretch and into the offseason. So let's see what we're going to get out of Tylor Megill. So before we want to jump on him, let's see where he gets. Let's see what he can do in the bullpen. This is a new role for him. And I'm pretty confident. I think he's going to be a great addition to the bullpen. He's going to be a great potential long reliever that we might need in the playoffs at certain points in time. And I think we're pretty lucky and very good to have guys like him and Peterson and Williams to really set it up for our main guys like Adam Ottovino and, of course, the best closer in baseball, in my opinion, Edwin Diaz. But let's see what we're going to get out of Megill in the near future. I think he's going to bounce back just fine. I think he's going to be a great asset to this team down the home stretch. And hopefully he's going to be a big part of us winning our division and hopefully going further than that. But let's see where it goes from there. Seth Lugo also came in, pitched 1 inning. Seth has been a real solid addition to this bullpen once again all year long. Seth has been a real workhorse of it, along with Adam Ottovino, who ended up closing the game out tonight. Adam Ottovino had some shaky starts earlier in the season, kind of had some people put above him in regards to where they would use him when he came out. He stepped up, looked excellent most all throughout the season, and is just a tremendous asset to a bullpen, something that we're going to really need as we get deep into this big division series with Braves and further down the road into the playoffs. Adam Ottovino is going to play a big part of that, along with guys like Megill and Peterson and Williams, and who knows, even Joely Rodriguez could be a big part of it. Michael Givens, I'm still not sold on him, but I'm telling you, Adam Ottovino, he's really impressed me with his poise and the things that he's been able to do for this Mets team this season. Big workhorse, big part of the rotation of things that we need in our pitching. Escobar, once again, 2 for 3 tonight. Looked fantastic out there. This guy has just been red hot since he came off the disabled list. I guess almost losing your job to a rookie. One of the top prospects in Brett Beatty, who they brought up, who unfortunately got hurt too, really lit a fire under Escobar's ass. And as he got out there and he had this injury, he's said very openly that he took the time to analyze his swing, to what he was doing at the plate, to get some help to correct some of those issues. And boy, has it paid off. He has been a tremendous part of the Mets this last 3 to 4 weeks since he's come off the disabled list. And he looked great once again tonight. So Escobar, he's going to be a big, crucial part for this Mets team into the playoffs. And I hope he can keep this hot streak going. Our core players, Pete Alonso, still struggling a little bit, minus that home run. But people come out of it. He'll come out of it pretty good. He's been finding his power recently. Again, a little bit here and there, but Keith even mentioned it tonight in the broadcast. His swing is just looking a little off. Pete's doubting himself a little bit right now. But I hopefully that 3-run shot that he had really put some confidence back into him and into his hitting. 36 home runs, hitting 267, 118 RBIs. Pretty tremendous season for Pete Alonso once again. One of the cornerstones of our franchise. Francisco Lindor got a couple more hits tonight. Mark Canha was the only one that didn't get any hits, but I think we're going to give him a pass considering all the great things Mark has done for the team this year. Vogelbeck, once again, got a big, important double tonight for 2 runs that he ended up scoring. I love the 2 triples back and forth as well with Nimmo and Lindor tonight. So it's good to see the Mets hitting again. A lot of us doubted them after the Chicago series, but as I told a lot of my fellow Mets fans and friends out there talking through this, it happens. Great team slumped too. We slumped. It sucks. It is what it is. We moved on. We took 4 from the Pirates. We took 1 tonight. We got to keep that momentum going because Atlanta is not stopping anytime soon. But we're going to talk about Atlanta in just a few minutes. Let's look at the playoffs now. So what's really changed in this Mets team over the last couple of years? Especially the last year. They had a good team to start off the year last year, collapsed down the stretch. Big leadership in the clubhouse here is where I think it goes to a lot. You have great leaders in the locker room, like your Pete Alonsos, your Lindors, your Canas. This is what the team needed. They needed no drama, people to step up. There was a great article in the New York Post that really talked about this Mets team and what's changed for them throughout the years. Of course, Steve Cohen and his very deep pockets has brought in some great assets for us, and hopefully we'll continue to bring in more, and hopefully we'll still want to open it up. But this team, to me, the main difference, not just the leadership in the locker room, is the leadership in the clubhouse from Buck Showalter. Buck Showalter all season long has shown why he was a great selection for the Mets, why he was a great pick to be the manager of the Mets. I know some people were very critical of it in the offseason. Why would you bring Buck in? A lot of smart baseball fans knew it was a really good step in the right direction for the Mets franchise. Buck is a no bullshit coach. He doesn't pull any punches with anybody. He's a player's coach. He's got his players back. The players know it with Buck. It was great to see at the end of the game, all of them hugging Buck, picking him up, showing him the appreciation for what Buck has done for not only their careers, but this franchise this last year. And Buck has led us to the playoffs and been that crucial element to really help some of our players learn how to become better leaders, learn how to step into their roles differently, and to really guide this team to being a contender. And this team is a contender. They're a 100% a contender. It's not just because they're going to the playoffs. It's not just because we're Mets fans. Look at what they've done all year long with their pitching, with their starting pitching. Look at what they've done all year playing small ball. Good hitting for the most part, most of the season. Yeah, they don't have the power that the other teams do. They got one big powerhouse with Pete. Lindor's a great secondary one. You got a little pop with Vogelbeck that's out there too. Canna can hit a home run. Marte can hit some when it comes to it. But this isn't a team that's going to hit a lot of home runs. They're not relying on that. They're relying on smart baseball to win. And that's what a guy like Buck Showalter teaches people and has taught this team, in my opinion. So it's great to see the Mets get in the playoffs. It's great to see Buck come back from his sabbatical from coaching and to take our team to the playoffs. What an addition he's been. And it's great to see the things that are going on for this Mets team. And hopefully we can continue to ride this wave deep into the playoffs and hopefully into the World Series. But we have a very tough task ahead of us, and that's beating the Atlanta Braves. The Atlanta Braves once again won tonight. No surprise. They're taking on the absolutely dreadful Washington Nationals. And the Braves seem to just keep doing what they do best, and that's winning. I believe the Braves are the best team record-wise in baseball since June. And I know it's only a one-game lead that we have over them, but this is what it's meant to be. This is playoffs time. This is playoff season. This is where the contenders, who we see who are the contenders and not the pretenders. And the Mets and the Braves are both contenders. This division race is so important for a lot of reasons. One reason it's extremely important for us is we're going to get a bye in that first round with the Major League Baseball playoffs system and the way that it goes. If we win this division, we're going to be the number 2 seed. No way we're catching the Dodgers. I can't see that happening. Dodgers have that number 1 seed locked up, but home field advantage, a crucial element that we're going to need in the playoffs. And if we get this division series, this division title wrapped up, we're going to have a big advantage for hopefully the first 2 rounds that we get in there. And then when we play Los Angeles, if they get that far, we're going to be at a little bit of a disadvantage with the home field. But we have shown we can beat this Dodgers team as well. But we got to get this division down. We got to keep up with Atlanta. Atlanta's going to lose some games down the stretch. We have an important series with them at the end of the year. So end of the season. So that's a fantastic thing for us. Those are going to be must wins that we have to have because we got to get this division title. We really don't want to chance it in the first round of the playoffs. So I really hope that they can keep it together. And I hope that this Atlanta team slows down sometime soon, which doesn't seem like it's going to happen. Just like the Mets keep on winning now, the Braves keep on winning. When the Mets lose, the Braves seem to lose. It's been just a fascinating ride to watch these two teams throughout the last 3 months or so. Because, boy, the Braves have been red hot and the Mets have been just fantastic most all year as well. So Interesting to see where the division race is going to go. I know we'll talk about that more in the very near future, but a lot of what ifs until we start maybe getting some more wins underneath us and the Braves start losing, hopefully. Or if it just stays as tight as it is, it's just going to make that last series that we have with the Braves that much more fun. Don't forget, we also got Starling Marte coming back probably in the next week to 10 days. They're being very precautionary with his finger, and rightfully so, but he's a good week to 10 days away. But when Marte comes back, adds even more pop. Been one of our best players, hands down, all year long. Another amazing signing in the offseason was Marte. Person I want to talk about too tonight, even though he struggled a little bit at the plate tonight, Jeff McNeil. Here's a guy that never gets mentioned enough, and probably the best Met out there is Jeff McNeil, in my opinion. This guy is hitting 320. He's number 3 in the league in batting average. Yeah, I know he doesn't have the pop and the home runs and the RBIs as the other guys do. He's been batting lower in the order all year long. Jeff McNeil gets on base. Jeff McNeil is one of the biggest, if not the biggest asset to this team offensively, in my opinion. Never really seems to slump. Had a little tiny slump throughout the season. I believe it was in August, but this guy has been hot. He's been on fire all year long. And Jeff McNeil is going to be another one that's going to be a big, big part of the offseason and how far that we potentially can go in the playoffs. We're going to need a sharp Jeff McNeil. Another thing I love about McNeil is he can play anywhere. He can play the outfield. He can play the infield. He can do whatever the team needs him to. A great asset to the team, great asset to this ball club. And he's going to be a real crucial element to our team in the playoffs and as we keep going forward to hopefully win this division. So that's all I got for everybody tonight on the Amazing Mets Fancast. Make sure you like once again and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'll be going live a little bit and doing shows throughout the week, a few of them a week maybe a little bit more if I get some time, maybe a little bit less if it gets busy, but I can assure you we're going to have many more fun Mets discussion right here on the Amazing Mets Fancast. So until the next time, let's go Mets. Playoff bound. We got this. Let's kick the Braves' ass. We'll see you guys again real soon right here on the Amazing Mets Fancast.